You like that music, Marcus?
Oh, I love that music.
All right, cool.
Gets me fired up every week.
One of these times, dude, I'm just gonna cut that scene early, and it's gonna be the funniest thing ever. But gentlemen,
is he sitting bobbing his head?
He went super close to the camera, and he was like bobbing his head, like doing the whole thing.
Just so you know, that was created by yours truly.
Yeah,
I was very impressed.
You use that, we will sue you. Okay, we will sue you. That is our music. Fuck off.
No. I heard our attorney would be cheap.
Yeah, we have them on. We have them ready to go. But dude, we have 3 games left.
Crazy.
That sucks. We have obviously these 2 games, then Pro Bowl next week, the Super Bowl. So this is our last episode for 2 weeks. But last week was just continuing crazy, unbelievable playoff stretch. We saw injuries, really unexpected ones that, like, I know we've said that 1,000 times, but I think this one was the craziest one that even caught you guys off guard. Broncos game ends, and I text you guys, I'm like, Bo Nix is out for the season. And you guys are like, what? Like, everyone thinks I'm messing
just watched
with
the
them.
game ended.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing? You just celebrated. I'm like, no, he's done. Like, here's the thing. And you guys are like, what? Like, so that just happens out of nowhere, right? Like, and
yeah, I'm still asking you, like, I don't see it. You text me that.
You and
I'm like,
literally just asked me. I'm like, I don't
what
know.
happened? What happened? And you're telling me he got stepped on.
Yeah.
I'm like, when? Like, he just chucked it, and they got the PI, and then
took his ankle out. I don't know.
I guess so.
Yeah. We saw that, though. We saw the 49ers just get stomped. I mean,
but in that game, Seahawks, we were talking about Sam Darnold maybe playing through that injury. We've got now, Charbonnet out with a knee injury.
ACL. Yeah.
So that backfield just went from that 2-headed monster of who's going to get the ball, who's going to excel to,
and changes a lot with Seattle's offseason too. I mean, you look into it, Kenneth Walker was really looking to walk.
Contract year.
Really looking to walk, and you have Charbonnet tears ACL in the divisional round of playoffs. I mean, he's not going to be ready by week 1. So that changes up a lot of things. Of, do they pay Kenneth Walker? Does he walk? Does his value go up more now because he had a really good week last week? I mean, Seattle looked great though. Like you said, Seattle looked great. Josh ended up falling short, and then Seattle looked great, and then the Rams-Bears game. What a game that was!
Great game.
I mean,
we had two OT games that made us. That's playoff football right there. Is Absolutely. When it comes down to the wire, and it's back and forth. You don't know who's going to win it, and
we all get to figure out what a catch is.
Right.
Right. A little refresher.
Little refresher on what's a catch on Saturday, what's a catch on Sunday.
It depends on what game you're looking at, right? So
and what day.
What do you think? What do you think?
I think both calls were right. I'm on that side. I saw the breakdown of it. Everyone keeps freezing the screenshot of the Brandon Cooks one, but they're not realizing that there's still no football complete. Like, there's no evidence that he still absolutely had it versus him actually being down versus the whole thing. It was still all in one motion, where the other one was like.
Because
it's tough, but I saw a whole breakdown. I saw a ton of NFL real breakdowns, and they said both calls were 100% accurate.
I hate when they say the foot down, whatever, and then football move, but then when you look at that one, where's the football move? Because they're literally going to the ground trying to catch it. So I get exactly that breakdown.
I get both. Yeah, I get.
It's to me, it's the eye test. It's to me, if you're going down. That's got to be a catch. That can't. You can't see.
I think the initial reaction of Brandon Cooks too, though, that was he even thought it was an interception.
I think he was hurt though too. I think he knocked the wind out of him.
Oh yeah, could have. But he was even disappointed. Where it's before, if I was me, I'm up dude, that was mine. That ball was mine. I'm making my whole case, and I feel like that might even help you in the case. But I feel like he knew, fuck man, I never even have possession of that. I'll tell you one thing. I'm glad all of our teams were out of it, because I would have been pissed if that, no matter what.
There's no right answer.
If you're on the other side of it, dude, you're not happy, right? So I was just sitting back, and I was like, oh my god, I don't have any anything on this, and I'm like, woo. I don't like that at all.
In my head, if you come down with the ball with your butt I mean, if that's in the end zone, for instance, and he goes out of bounds, how does the possession change happen when he's on the ground with the ball being touched by a defender? So it was, I don't know.
And I don't know if we
You
saw
always
those.
think they
I don't
give it
think
to
we
the wide
saw that.
receiver.
We didn't see that all year.
I know, and
And
they called it immediately.
and then we saw it back to back. Like,
They
I don't know
called
if
it
we had a catch
interception.
all year that was remotely close to that.
Yeah. I don't think you can turn it over either way. Like if it's called on the field as a catch, I don't think they turn it over and vice versa. And it just happened to go against the Bills.
Yeah. I mean, and both, well, the one, with Josh, I mean, that's risky throw, given the the situation and everything else. And so, I mean, the Bears won, completely different. Rome Odunze on the first drive. I told you guys, first drive, Rome Odunze drops that touchdown in the end zone. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I think that changes everything.
Bear fans.
Yeah, that changes everything. I mean, because that even makes like Sean McVay like, fuck, man, like these guys. I mean, both of their opening drives looked unbelievable, like the Rams and the Bears. It was just like boom, 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 and that's what we were talking about. Like we're gonna see a lot of it, and these guys are, that's why I told you, Marcus. I'm like, I'm staying away from the under on that one because I'm like, these guys are gonna figure out some way to move this ball, right? But obviously, the recap about all that is crazy, right? But then we saw, insane coaching changes. We saw Sean McDermott get fired. So the concept,
as a result of that game,
the concept of me saying, what was it before playoffs? I mentioned that like we're looking at Bills, plus. Packers, Steelers. I think that's all I really had for that. But I'm like, and then the one that didn't go was the Packers. He extends, but Steelers, gone with Mike Tomlin, and then Sean McDermott, gone. So that was a shocker. But then Matt, you have a list for us, because off the top of my head, I only know the big ones. But we saw some head coaching jobs really fill up. So I think we're looking at 3 head coaching jobs available now, 3 or maybe 2.
Yeah, sounds right. So
Cardinals, Raiders, Browns, Bills. So 4.
Yep. So the one that right away, like I'm surprised that was the quickest one, was John Harbaugh to the Giants. That was the first one out of the gate. Right away they wanted to make sure they made the splash, which I think is kind of smart because there's so many openings. You want to hurry up and try to. He wouldn't be
going to New York if that Buffalo job's open. So
exactly. So that was a huge move. And then you've got Stefanski to the Falcons, which you talked about it earlier. That's a really cool move, I think, for him in that organization. I think that's the right fit here. It's no Arthur Smith hire, a couple years ago that they tried to push. So I think that's a good one. Another interesting one is Jesse Minter, Michigan man, coming from the Harbaugh tree, for the Ravens. So it's one of those things that, he's that young guy, smart guy, kind of getting that head coaching opportunity. We like to see that, some of these young coordinators get that opportunity. You saw Ben Johnson excel at it this year, right? Do they have it? Do they have the right stuff from going coordinator to head coach? So that's going to be an exciting one.
Yeah, Matt, did you see with that? Not to cut you off, but did you see? You'll love this one because it's a Harbaugh stat. Did you see the correlation between the two? Seattle's defensive coordinator, who's now the Seattle Seahawks head coach, Mike, drawing a blank on his last name, whatever. That was, Baltimore Ravens defensive coordinator. He came through the Jim Harbaugh coaching staff tree as a defensive coordinator, went to Baltimore, Seattle does it, and then Baltimore is literally writing the same script as Seattle. They get rid of their head coach of, I think it was 15-year head coach, Pete Carroll, now John Harbaugh. They're getting rid of their head coach. They're signing a Jim Harbaugh defensive coordinator down the tree and then bringing him back in with a Pro Bowl quarterback. So it was like interesting. Like it was like the Spider-Man meme of like them doing the same exact things as Seattle did to try to redo the thing. But it was cool because really, I mean, the Harbaugh is really, you look at the coaching staff trees, they have a lot of really well-accomplished coordinators.
Yep. And then I think some of the 2 moves that I wrote down as well is Robert Saleh, who we thought originally was rumored to get that potential job with the Cardinals. But instead, Titans. So
good move for him. Very tough division with NFC West. I don't know how you turn that like I told you guys, I think last week you can go 10-7 with that Cardinals team your first year and you probably still won't make playoffs. So
so to me, but it's kind of funny to me, Ben Johnson, he's in the playoffs. He has these potential rumors of head coaching interviews. This is last year, right? And then doesn't get it done in the playoffs. And now you just hired a guy who just got stomped on, in the playoffs. Yeah. It's just it's one of those things that's interesting. Like, obviously, you hope that his 1 foot's not out the door. He's got these opportunities, kind of behind the scenes. But it's funny to see. They literally
a failing offense, he gets a head coaching job next week, and then a failing defense, he gets a head coaching job the next week. It's like, were you guys at the game? Were you guys calling plays, or were you guys on the phone working out those, that money deal?
and then the last one, I guess, and I'm telling you about a coordinator position just because it's the Lions, but Lions, after interviewing Mikey, they decided it wasn't the right fit. I thought that would have been an exciting, pickup to have him run the offense, but instead we go with, you can any hometown Lions radio, talking heads or say like, what are they doing, right? If you start to kind of look back into it, and so that's what I had to do too, because I was like, who's Drew Petzwick? I don't even know his name. Petzing. He's Arizona Cardinals offensive coordinator. He had success. He had Jacoby Brissett, step in there and just throwing the shit out of the ball. He had a carousel at running back with everybody getting hurt. And the stable position was, his superstar tight end. Yep. What did Ben Johnson do when he had Sam Laporta at tight end? Right. So I'm kind of excited for, kind of not going with that super splashy name, trying to rehash it here. It's a guy that hopefully is a nice stable OC coming in, and then maybe Dan Campbell can still implement the offense he wants through him.
Yeah, there's some big names in that offensive coordinator carousel, so them going with them shows a lot of, like, that guy had to come in there, kill the interview. They had to really like what he had to say. So if you're a Lions fan, you got to be excited because they could have interviewed anybody and they took him early. So we'll see.
It was just funny because, like I told you, Matt, that's Ben Johnson's best friend that Dan Campbell hired. So it was just one of those things where, like, I saw this whole thing that how Dan Campbell is still just like really heartbroken with Ben Johnson and just had to like get back at him, like all this other stuff or whatever else. So it's just funny stuff, But I will say, in the weirdest way, it made a lot more sense to me. Like, not in terms of like team, that McDaniels went to LA over Detroit. Like, when you think of Mike McDaniel, I just don't see him being in Detroit. Like, he's not a Detroit guy. He's Miami, LA. Yeah, like he's that's what I mean. Like, I just don't see him. Like, I don't see him in, like, Dan Campbell, like you said, is he's got a pouch of skull in his lip, and then he's just hitting his pineapple vape. Like so
he can't wear his capris to
man. He's got his dunks. He's got like all this other stuff on.
No loafers in Detroit.
Yeah, dude. It just like, I just see him being like, I don't know. I really see him and Justin Herbert doing really well. Amarian Hampton, it's a very, very good signing for LA. And I mean, really, they just need to get the O-line going, and I think you'll see him splash in the offseason. But before we get into the games, as always, I have some fun stats for you guys. This one, I go back to back here, but Josh Allen has hit the ball in his hands to win or tie the game in his final game of the season for the past 3 years, and the Bills have lost every single one of them. So you can't say they changed the overtime rule for Joshy, and he still can't get it done. The Patriots have faced the lowest strength of schedule that any team has faced since 2007. They have the 10th lowest strength of schedule in NFL history. They beat the Texans, and now their next game will be against Jarrett Stidham to get into the Super Bowl.
Yep. Scale
possibly the easiest road to the Super Bowl. And the thing is, and I know he probably doesn't watch this, but Parr is such the delusional Patriots fan where it's just like, they're just doing it because it's us. It's like, dude, if this was the Chiefs, he would be all over it. You know what I mean? If it's anyone else besides the Patriots, he'd be all over it. He's got the Patriots fatigue going on, he says, or whatever. It's like, dude, the stats are the stats. Like, if it's the Eagles that got that, we'd be getting hit hard with that. If it was the Chiefs, they'd get hit hard with that, no matter who it was, right? So I'm like, you got to take it as like,
time.
Yeah, I know you don't get to make your schedule, but you got to admit that you've had the easiest road to it. It's like the bubble NBA championship, right? It's like It's the bubble,
right?
like, it's like it's not the same. People were out 4 weeks because of COVID. It's like
I know.
It's not the
I
same.
remember seeing a screenshot mid-season of like when they're 8-1 or whatever it was, and it was like the first 10 teams in the NFL draft.
Yeah.
It's like,
Literally, it still
holy
is.
cow.
Like, it still is.
Yeah.
Like we said, Jackson Dart literally he beat more teams above 500 than Drake made to this season.
Mhm.
And the Patriots went 14-3. Like that's insane.
But
Yeah,
Pats are
wins.
1 game away from the Super Bowl, which is insane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely
that's the
insane.
goal.
Yep. This stat is awesome. I loved this one. We are not talking about the fact that Sam Darnold has a very, very real chance to be the first quarterback in the 2018 draft class to win the Super Bowl. Now, let me remind you, pick 101, Baker Mayfield. Pick 3, Sam Darnold. Pick 7, Josh Allen. Pick 10, Josh Rosen. Pick 32, Lamar Jackson. So if you would have told me Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, you got them or you got Sam Darnold to get their first ring, all of us would take Josh or Lamar. Like,
yeah, especially year 4 when he's practicing with the Panthers. It's like, who would have saw this turnaround coming?
Yeah.
So it's good. It's good to see too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they're kind of guy who's set off to the side, outcast, like you're a bust, and with 2 teams back-to-back 14-win seasons.
Yeah. Awesome. Every AFC championship since 2011 has featured either the Patriots or the Chiefs.
We can't escape them.
Can't escape them. When one's
down,
when one's down, when one's down, the other one's up. You can't stop them. Matthew Stafford is the only NFL quarterback since the 1970 merger to throw for 40-plus passes, complete under 50% of his throws, throw for 0 touchdowns in a road start, and still win the game, regular or postseason. Quarterbacks that combined for those exact stats are 0, 99, and 1 in road starts.
Wow, that's a Brown stat.
And somehow they still get it done, right?
100 games, and no one's ever won given those exact stats.
Against a team that has figured it out, tooth and nail, how many times, and came down to a really bad pick.
Man, unbelievable. This one was just like, even when I read this, I was like, huh? And then I went through my head. I'm like, okay. We ended up with the conference championship games coached by guys named Mike and Sean.
I saw that.
Yep.
Both of them are Mike and Sean, and so we might get a Mike and Sean Super Bowl as well.
Yeah. Sean Payton and Mike Vrabel, and then Sean McVay and Mike. We don't even know his name. Dude, I'm telling you, he's the most under-talked about coach of all time.
All right, let's see.
Seattle Seahawks. Like, I know him as Mike. I if you gave me 100 pictures of dudes, I would be able to point them out.
Whoa. Mike McDonald?
I think it's McDonald or I think it's McDonald.
I'm pretty sure it's McDonald. But then after saying that, I'm like,
but nobody. That's what I'm saying.
Mike McDonald.
Dude, but a guy that goes 14-3 is number 1 seed. We don't even know the name of it. Like, I'm telling you, he is the most not talked. He is the most not talked about head coach that I can remember. Like anyone else, we talked about Liam Cohen. We talked about, Mike Vrabel. We've talked about a million coaches, and then it's like that guy. It's like, wait a minute, hold on, is it McDonald? But yeah, either way. Or we can have Mike or Sean. So it's gonna get interesting. This one, you're a big stat guy, Matt. You'll love this. Marcus, you're a big stat guy as well. But the Rams and Seahawks split their season series 1-1. The points scored in those 2 games, Rams 58 total, Seahawks 57 total. Total yards in those 2 games, Rams 830, Seahawks 829. Talk about the most even split, 1 point and 1 yard difference in those 2 games.
No, it might come down to who's playing well right now. Seattle's hot.
Yeah, Seattle's very, very hot. So I ended up coming across, Matt, we didn't do the greatest job this year. One of our favorite things to do was the scoregamis, right?
Yep.
So I came across this new one. It's called Cap Sheet Agami. So it has to do with the salaries and everything else.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. The Broncos are currently paying Russell Wilson more money than their entire offensive skill unit for the 2025 AFC Championship game, including Bo Nix. They're paying Russell Wilson $32 million, and they're paying the entire Denver Broncos offense 31.7.
And they still had to rebuild.
They're in the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
It's that was an unbelievable one.
Does
and
Russ,
then, of course,
does Russ get a ring too if they win?
Point.
If he's still on the payroll?
That's a good point. He should.
So?
What is his quotes? Dangerous or whatever the hell, or whatever the hell.
Mr. Unlimited.
Yeah, unlimited. There you go.
Broncos country, let's ride.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
So as always, I try to end it with something that when we slide into the games, it's going to favor my pick. So that's what I'm going to do here. The Denver Broncos are undefeated in home games officiated by head ref Alex Kemp. Denver is 4-0 with Kemp. New England is the most penalized team in the league for face mask penalties this season, and Kemp has thrown the most face mask penalties since 2022.
That's a deep dive.
And I'm taking the Broncos.
That's a hell of a stat.
And I'm taking the Broncos.
I also saw another stat. I think it was Belichick was 0-3 against the Broncos. So
I'm taking the Broncos.
Just saying.
That's a perfect way to lead into it.
Just like the stat you said about Stafford, though, out of 100, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. It's true. Both games, obviously, Sunday. I'm 5-5. Matt, you're 7-3. Marcus, we really just don't care about you. That's why we're not putting it on the graphic. You're a Browns fan, so it really just goes out the window. No, yeah, I think you're generally in between though. I think I'm 5-5, you're 6-4, and Matt's 7-3. I generally think that's what it is.
Yeah, because he keeps jumping ship between whether he wants to side with you or me.
And like we just said, we don't have a consensus. So the consensus is going to stay 3-1 here. So
but that's right. That's look at our stats right there on the year. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and unless we agree on the Super Bowl, which I doubt all three of us will agree, unless depending on what teams get in. But with this one, like me and you talked about, Matt, very rarely do we see when we go opposite ways on games like this, one of us go 2-0. So I don't know if Seattle's going to get it done or Denver's going to get it done, but I'm sure one of them will let me down. Same thing with Patriots and Rams for you, right. unless some magical thing happens and one of us goes 2-0, but it very rarely ever happens. But with that being said, I'll keep mine short. I usually let you guys go first if you guys have both, but Denver's at home. The stat that I just gave you, I told you guys in text throughout the week, like I just have a very weird gut feeling about Denver, the way that they're hyping it up. The Nick Foles, like putting that tweet out. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, about how, did you guys see the tweet about Nick Foles?
Something about Patriots struggle against backup QBs. Or
Patriots don't have a great history against backup quarterbacks. So it's like people are just riding the coat. I've seen more. I said it on stream today. I have seen more Jarrett Stidham highlight reels this week than I think I've had Drake May highlights this season. And I'm not kidding. I genuinely think I've seen more highlight reels on Jarrett Stidham, which I didn't even know there was a highlight reel for him. Like I didn't even know. Like I had no idea. Like it was just backup tape of the Raiders, Patriots, and Broncos games.
You say, is it all?
Some of those might have been preseason. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
So I don't know what it is, man. I have a weird feeling. I love Denver's defense. Like we talked about, Drake May, some weird turnovers in that Texans game. I know it was rainy. I know it was shitty. Which I didn't really look in the forecast either one of these games. It shouldn't be anything crazy besides just being cold in January. But just one of those things, man, where I love Denver's defense. I'm taking defense in both of these matchups here. They've proven time and time again that they're the number one seed for a reason. They're a defensive team for a reason. And we've always said defensive teams win championships. And we've seen teams do it, before without their quarterback. So I think if Stidham can just manage this game and not, turn the ball over, I generally think that Denver can get it done.
Yeah. Tell him why he's wrong, Matt.
So, I mean, I don't know unless you do. I mean, we talked about
Rams or Seattle game.
We talked about Nick Foles,
right?
His nickname, Big Dick Nick. So we got to know what kind of unit does Stidham have, because that's what it takes to come in and win a Super Bowl as a backup.
I'm calling it right now. Steady with the gritty.
That's the facts we need.
That's what we need. Unless
what Matt just asked, for anyone that can't interpret that, does Jarrett Stidham have a huge cock?
We need to know. That's the hard-hitting questions of whether or not him stepping in as a backup can win this.
I need that to be clipped so bad. I need that to be not that
we need to be on the phone with exes, former babysitter.
Where did he go to school? Was it Arizona State? We're fucked.
Since we're in the dark on it right now, I can't side with them right now. But no, I love your take on it, because that's how I feel about the Broncos. It's their defense that can win this game for sure. We saw a sloppy game out of the Pats and the Texans. How many was it? 8 or 9 turnovers?
I think 9.
Did we say? Like, you can't have that game again here and win the game against the Broncos, whoever they have at quarterback, right? Because they can win the game by just putting in RJ Harvey's hands, and then they'll make a catch to Sutton at some point, right? I mean, so they can get it done with a backup quarterback. To me, I still love this storyline of Drake May putting together, whether it's against the bottom half of the league or not. Like I said earlier, they're in this conference championship. They have a chance. They have the coaching staff that is putting together this kind of like revitalization of this once great team. They had a dynasty going. Absolutely. And now this is their opportunity. So, by being 1 win away, I think somehow this weird defensive battle comes down to Drake May. And my call to you, what I wanted to put in our parlay is kind of like I talked about Josh Allen. Like, if the ball's in his hands, he has that opportunity. I see him, doing that last run that he has to get the first down, to get the touchdown. I like Drake May here to just, thinking he's got to do it all by himself right at the end of the game, and maybe, slide one in there. But I think this is going to be a really tough matchup. I think the 4.5 is simply because not knowing what Stidham is going to, be able to do on the other end. So other than that, I think we should have a closer matchup, kind of like we saw in the Rams and the Seahawks line. But I'm sticking with the Pats on this one.
Yeah, and I think that's a great take. You have two teams that have great defenses, and the Patriots defenses doesn't have the big names as the Broncos, but they've put together a solid postseason, and we discussed the turnovers, and the defense created those turnovers. I mean, Stroud had some ugly throws and some stuff you scratch your head on, but every time he was under duress, he was getting sacked, he was going down. So it's two-sided coin to that. It's not just all on Stroud. It was, the Patriots creating their own opportunities. And when you have two defenses that are playing well, and maybe the Patriots haven't been playing so well on the offensive side, it's just they have an MVP caliber quarterback. I mean, like Matt said, it's bottom half of the team, top half of the league. He's still put together a hell of a year. And when you're playing a guy who's never passed for more than, I think, 860 was his career high for yards on a season, it's just, he's a career backup. And you put a team together and you have an MVP quarterback, these are the games that you should win. And I like the Broncos as an overall unit better, but I just can't pick them without Nix. So rolling with the Pats.
Yeah, that's kind of what I asked you guys too. Is I said if Bo Nix was healthy after the performance that he just had last week, would you guys go? And I got a guess out of Marcus, and kind of it looked like it was going to be a yes out of you, Matt. I think you got distracted by it. I think you kind of were like, yeah, I think so.
I feel like I would.
It's it's all hypothetical and everything else, but
yeah.
I mean, it really just not talked about enough. But it's like just a real blow for the Broncos. I mean, what a year they've had. I don't think anyone ever would have thought they came out of the AFC West as the champions, let alone 14-3, let alone the number 1 seed, let alone in the AFC Championship. And then do all of that, have a guy that's top 5 in MVP, still doubted a bunch. Bo Nix comes out and plays great. I mean, that is one thing that we don't talk about, is that offense got moving and there was no hiccups. The offense was moving on almost every drive. I mean, they looked great. And so really just a tough, really just unbelievable, like we talked about. I mean, nobody believed when the news broke, where they were, what? Like he just was doing interviews. He just was on the game. He just kneeled the ball. Like he just was out there. What are you guys talking about? So really unfortunate for the Broncos. I would have loved to see this matchup, especially with Bo healthy, just kind of what came out of it. And it's unfortunate for the Patriots because now this will be looked at as the easiest road to the Super Bowl because of things that necessarily aren't aren't in their control. So but then we got the Rams at Seattle. The night game, I believe. Me and Marcus, we took Seattle. Matt, you are sticking with the Rams. You had to go into the Super Bowl. Like we said, we're either going to see a Sean or a Mike or a Sean Mike or a Mike Sean, whatever that we're going to see. We're going to see something crazy here. But Marcus, give me your take on what you see out of Seattle at home here against the Rams.
I just think they're on fire. I think right now, collectively, they're playing the best football in the league. And I get it done on both sides of the ball. And man, did they come out and just boot on the throat for 60 minutes. I mean, there wasn't an ounce of that game where the 49ers had life. And that's a team that they've already ran into 2 previous times. Those teams know each other. They've seen each other. And it was just, belt to ass for 4 quarters. And I just, the Rams came out slap in a game that the Rams could have lost and maybe should have. I mean, Caleb Williams has that ball on the 50-yard line, 48, I think it was, on 2nd and 8, and
DJ runs a lazy route.
And, kind of just throws a ball in the no one, and it's like if that gets dropped and they have a 8-yard run and a 5-yard pass, they might kick that field goal and win the game. So you have the Rams who struggle past the Panthers, maybe had a little luck with the Bears, and now they're running into the buzzsaw that's Seattle. I think that the 12th man's going to be bumping, and they're rolling right now. And the Rams have all the talent in the world, probably the best team on paper, but they've proved time and time again they're the worst record in the playoffs right now. And I think all of us would say collectively they have the best team, and they're just not always consistent. And I think right now Seattle is playing great, and I'm gonna ride the hot hand.
Yeah. I think with Seattle, that was the one thing that couldn't it's so tough to go against Stafford, Kyren Williams, Puka, Devontae Adams, all that stuff, right? But the one thing that you said, I mean, I remember watching the game last weekend, and it was like the game started, and then Seattle's defense, got the touchdown, and then their special teams got the touchdown, and it was like, ooh, here we go. And then 49ers came out flat, and then it came out flat, and it's like they never stood back up. Like the whole game, it was like, wow, they just, and like you said, emphasis on that was their 3rd time. That's Kyle Shanahan's 3rd time seeing the team. That's Robert Saleh's 3rd time seeing this team, giving them, the best look. I mean, they've seen them twice. They know exactly what they're going to do, all this sort of stuff. And I mean, Seattle, it was just like, they just did whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted, utilized whoever they wanted. We saw Cooper Kupp look like he was Triple Crown again. It was just like, so for them, I think that's the most dangerous thing you can see is all of these teams. We're looking at 2 of these teams that won in overtime, and the other team was in a turnover mess, and Seattle came out clean, just mollywopped the 49ers and walked away. It was like they went into town, or if San Francisco came into town and they just ran it up, kicked them out of their town, and they sat put, right? LA, man, and they had to deal with that Chicago cold, a little banged up on some plays. Stafford took some big hits, and it's like, I think Seattle is right now just the healthiest, most dominant team on both sides of the ball. And it was so tough for me to go against that. And I mean, still, up until this week, the last 3 weeks, I keep going against Seattle. For some reason, even in the last week of playoffs, even, last week against San Francisco, I took San Francisco. So I got to get back on it. I had them winning the NFC West division, and so I got to get back on them going to the Super Bowl here.
I think you guys are wrong.
I'd like to get off the pod if that's okay.
Yeah. No, hey, listen.
I googled Jarrett Stidham the last 3 minutes,
and I saw it.
Yeah, don't look it up.
This is Matthew
Hog.
massive. This is Matthew Stafford's legacy game right here. This opportunity to get the Super Bowl. If he wins this game, gets another Super Bowl,
rise down the sunset,
and can win it, it's a Hall of Fame, lock. This is him being able to end a career of just being on top. So there's a lot that has to go right. The two games that we had kind of tale of two different Matthew Staffords. We had one game that they actually won when he played very poorly, and then he throws for 457 yards in week 16. That was a really, really good game, a shootout. So we got to, we've got two defenses here that really could change the trajectory of the game, because Seattle's defense has been looking amazing. And then their offense is also looking amazing, right? So same thing with the Rams. The Rams defense can look stout at times too, but it's really when, Matthew Stafford has to throw for 350 plus yards that they're still getting it done too. So this could be, we're talking about the defensive side of the ball on the AFC side, NFC side. What I'm hoping for, and what I think is you're saying the hot hand is Seattle because, they're putting up 41 and their offense looking great. But I think the Rams want that type of game, because then they're just going to throw the shit out of the ball. Puka's going to run, I saw the one stat and I don't remember what it is, but like how many routes he's been running and all over the field. Like, it's insane, right? So if you let him do that, he's going to catch the ball 12 plus times. He's gonna get it done, and then guess what? Go down to the goal line and do that jump ball to Devontae Adams, and they're gonna win this game in a thriller. So I got to stick with my pick of Rams to the Super Bowl, and I think they can in this type of game.
Yep. And I was telling you guys right before we started, 14-3, 3 teams here. I mean, that's crazy. Like I said,
gotta be the first time.
It's not being talked about, but we'll have to do our own research. I don't think there's, because like you said, Marcus, that'd be 14-2 in past seasons, and I don't remember there being 3 teams in a single year, let alone 3 teams in the championship round. So we're seeing 3 14-win teams here. I mean, this is premier, playoff football. And I mean, look, the Rams are 12-5, and if they aren't in the NFC West, they're probably 2 seed. I mean, 2 seed was the 11-6 Bears, 3 seed was the 11-6 Eagles. So you're looking at a team that, they're the 5 seed, but really they were the 2 seed when it comes to the record. So we're looking at seed 1, seed 2 on both sides of the conference, and I think we're going to see some pretty good football.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool seeing coming out of the same division, just like we saw. They had to play each other, right? Bears Packers had to play each other. It was kind of cool. Same thing here with Rams and Seattle. It's
like last year with Washington and Philly.
Yeah, exactly. So it's cool that they get this third matchup, right? Because they played in the division as to who goes to the Super Bowl. It's actually, pretty cool seeing some of these divisions, and what they spit out this year.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then even just the Patriots Broncos. That's the old Brady Manning. You know what I mean? Like, how many times do we see Brady and Manning in the AFC Championship coming down to the wire? Imagine. I mean, it's crazy to think about. Like, back, it's like those guys just dominated their sides for so long. I will ask you guys this, though. This is the one question I have for you guys. No matter who wins on the AFC side, and no matter who wins on the NFC side, are you still taking the NFC team?
NFC, I think so.
I think if the Rams or Seattle wins, I'm taking them over the Broncos or the Patriots. No matter.
I agree. I think they're just clearly the better two.
Absolutely.
That's what's so crazy to me is, like, I genuinely think next week is consensus to NFC, and it doesn't matter who wins on the AFC, and it doesn't matter who wins the NFC. That's how dominant these two. This could be the Super Bowl matchup, and I think it's just the more dominant teams. Like, they're just this year we've talked about it. The NFC has just been so dominant. Like, it's just the truth. Last week we let you guys down. We went 0-3 on the pod, but to be fair, I mean, look. I'd rather go 0-3 with the first leg missing than come down to the last leg like the week before and then not hit.
Yep.
So just like that.
I agree.
If you guys remember J.R. Harvey or R.J. Harvey, however you remember him, he's not going to let me down. He's getting in early. This is how the game's going to start. Denver's going to come down, rushing touchdown, R.J. Harvey. Patriots are going to get the football. Drake May's going to throw a pick. And then we're in.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
And we're in, and then we're going to get to nighttime, and then Kenneth Walker's not going to get in, and then Funzy's going to owe us $100. No.
Yep. Deal.
We only bet 50. No.
No. Generally though, you guys know every single time I've taken RJ Harvey anytime touchdown, knock on wood, it's hit. Matt, you know that. I've taken it every single week. I took it the week even after I didn't take it on the pod, so it was 3 straight weeks. He's my guy this year. No Bo Nix. They're gonna have to find a way that a red zone area. Looking for him to get 10 touches this game in the red zone at least. So I love that. Matt, you're going with Drake May interception. Last week you obviously saw the turnover fiasco against the Texans, and like you said, you like the Denver defense better than you like the Texans defense. So
Sure.
Drake May with the yips at the moment. Gonna throw a pick in the AFC Championship, and then Marcus, you love Kenneth Walker. Not only for a touchdown score this week because Charbonnet is a torn ACL, but you also have him in Dynasty, and it's looking good in value going forward with Charbonnet out and him as a free agent. It is plus 623, $50, wins 361 and 93 cents. This is an ad from DraftKings. Could you imagine? That'd be so sick. Maybe one day.
No free ads right now. Okay.
No free ads, dude. We have a lawyer. You take our jingle at the beginning and end. We will sue you to the ground. We will sue you to the ground for whatever you are worth. But yeah, next week, man, we have a little break. Matt, it's me and your first week off. Let's see, 19, 20, 21 weeks, Matt. We've been doing this every single week. Have not missed a single week. Okay, we have not missed a single week. This will be the first year we've ever not missed a single week because I think last year we had some crazy stuff happening around Christmas and all three of us couldn't get on, so we just skipped it. So this will be the first year we've done every single week. We never do Pro Bowl, so it's all good that we're skipping on a Pro Bowl. And then we'll be back to the Super Bowl. We're just going to be hashing it out about two teams. And we all basically just admitted that we're taking whatever NFC team is left. So, like, we're going to have to figure some stuff to talk about because unless one of us changes our mind, unless something crazy happens, right? We saw Bo Nix break his ankle with no time left. So maybe some crazy stuff happens. Maybe some crazy injuries or crazy situations happen. Maybe we see Jarrett Stidham come out and throw 400 yards and we're all in on Denver. I don't know.
Nick Foles 2.0.
Dude, we've seen crazier things, have we not? So another great episode though. You guys got anything else? Marcus, Matt?
No, looking forward to the slate. I think though, the NFCs we think are so much better than the AFC, or we're favoring them. It's two great matchups. So this playoff slate, other than a couple blowouts, has been incredible. A close game after close game, overtimes, fourth quarter heroics. So I think we're going to see more of the same this week. I think it's going to be two close games. Really look forward to it.
Yep. Matt?
Hoping for maybe another overtime thriller or something like that.
Two both games.
I think that'd be nice. I think last quick thing. I think the stat was 6 of the 10 games so far have been like within 4 points or something like that. So that's what I'm hoping for again here is, again, last possession, something crazy happened, especially in the Rams-Seahawks game.
Yeah, and the Rams-Seahawks game goes super long into the night, and you need some energy. Don't be afraid to use boot. just plug it real quick, dude. Not an ad, but could be an ad. We just start the podcast and we're all just snorting the boomsticks, getting ready to go. That'd be kind of cool.
I mean, if they want to send us a case of them, and
yeah, we'll try them out. Let you guys know. But all right, guys. As always, appreciate you guys tuning in. Check out our socials, and we will see you guys Super Bowl week. Later.
See ya.